This is the Mind of the Meanie. Here are your hosts, the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard.
Peace, world, and welcome everybody to the Mind of the Meanie, your weekly peek into the world, according to former WWE superstar and ECW original, the Blue Meanie. We'll cover wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I'm your tour guide, Adam Barnard, and he is the Blue Meanie. Meanie!
Yes, sir.
What's on your mind?
On the road again.
It looks a little different today.
Yeah, man. I am coming from an undisclosed location. Okay. I am in beautiful West Haven, Connecticut, visiting some in-laws, and I'm doing good. Like I've said in a few previous weeks, I am on the road to feeling like a human again.
Good.
Dude, I legit have been sick for like a month, but I think I'm in the final kick out. You know, right before the 3 comes down, I throw up the shoulder and the crowd goes, ah. But feeling good, man. Feeling good. How about you? How are you doing, sir?
I'm okay, man. How good. I'm
find the right angle here to sit.
I don't know if you can see, but I've adjusted my camera a couple of times because I'm trying to get like center because it's all fucked up. I'm okay, man. I'm doing all right. I had some technical difficulties. Apologies for being late to y'all here. My iMac decided it was going to freeze at the last minute, so we're glad to be here live on One True Sport.
Yes.
Don't forget to hit subscribe and like and support the show and support the network here. At the bottom of the screen here, you'll see we have our super chat menu as well. So feel free to drop those super chats and start dropping your Ask Meanie questions now because you may hear them on the program. But yeah, I'm doing good, man. I'm it's Saturday, so it's a good day. We're
Crown Jewel Day.
Yeah, it is Crown Jewel Day. We'll talk about that in a minute because I'm curious of your thoughts. Because I guess since we're live now, we can counteract that issue that we usually have where we give our predictions and it doesn't work. But I would be remiss not to start off the show and get your thoughts about some news that broke yesterday.
Oh, please do. It might be news to me because I was kind of out of the loop with travel.
That's right. Yeah, you were on the road. WWE announced I guess I don't know if you want to call them releases because they weren't releases, but the non-renewal of contracts for 3 superstars is Indy Hartwell, Tegan Knox, and I think for me the most surprising, not that any of the other 2 were surprising or shouldn't be surprising, but Baron Corbin is not going to have his contract released, and I wanted to get your thoughts about that.
Well, yeah, I did hear about these, and technically, any release is really a non-renewal when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
When I had my, I don't know. I'm speaking from like 1998 to 2000 year contract meanie here. Like when I got my release, they still paid me the remainder of the contract. Mm-hmm. Everybody goes, "Oh, you got the 90-day no compete," which, I think people mistakenly think that you don't get paid,
right?
But you do get paid. They pay out, at least with me, they paid me out the remainder of my contract. Yeah, it's unfortunate, especially in the I taped the match for last night's SmackDown.
Yeah,
and just to be released, and then Tegan, that's a surprise as well, and Baron Corbin, man, he's been there a while. I was, scrolling through the Twitter and I saw his post and I didn't put 2 and 2 together like right away. He's thanking people for supporting him. I thought it was just like a random, hey, to all the people who's been supporting me all these years, thank you. Like, yeah. I would do that randomly, but then I realized, oh man, he's they're releasing him. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. He's been there for a long time. He has a series of characters. My favorite being Down on His Luck.
Yeah, bum ass Corbin.
with some of the most brilliant stuff. Really cool. And, he's going to land on his feet somewhere. They all are super talented. And like I always say to anybody who's released, it's not the end of the road.
Mm-mm.
You know, and it's not like a farewell from WWE. The door will always be open still, you know.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes that sucks how the business is at times. And unfortunately, you know, the initial feeling will suck and you'll be, you know, bummed out, but eventually it'll dissipate.
Yeah.
And they'll, you know, once they're free to legally pursue other options, you know, the world is their ostrich, as they say in Trailer Park Boy, as they say on Trailer Park Boys. The world is their oyster, and then, you know, wherever they go, they'll be fine. You know, it's not the end of the road, especially if this is something you're passionate about and want to continue to pursue. God knows they'll make a killing on the Comic-Con circuit and the indie circuit. So, no pun intended for Indy Hartwell, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. I just came out of nowhere, but you know, that's the business.
Yeah. It's a shame, man. It's, you know, I've mentioned on the show before here. Corbin and I we're I would say we're friends now, I think. But we have been acquaintances for a long time. We share mutual friends here in the Westchester area. And I actually just did a piece with him. I did an interview with him for the Takedown on SI. And it's like he was talking about, you know, he said in the interview, he's like, you know, and it may not even come out now, which sucks because it was a really like in-depth, really solid conversation about his career and all the things he wanted to do. And, you know, he said that he had been with the company for 12 years and he was really hoping to hang on to make it to 15 years. He's like, because most people don't make it to that point. He's like, that would be a big thing for me. And, you know, it sucks, man. Cause he's such a great guy. He's a versatile performer, like arguably one of the safest in the business from what I hear from a lot of people. Yeah, it's a shame, man. It's a shame for all three of them. I know that Indy, like you said, just had a match on SmackDown. She was just, I think, part of an angle or something recently with the women's tag team championships. And I think Tegan Knox just never really got off the ground after she got injured. And it's a shame. It really is. And, you know, I think knowing Corbin, I feel like he'll be back on his feet very soon. I know he has a coffee brand. If y'all want to go and support him, if you go to his Instagram page, it's called Open Air Coffee. I actually had some. It's absolutely fantastic. Please go and support that business for him. He's got a whole new enterprise he's putting together with that, and a whole new like a center that they're creating the coffee in. So go and support that. But I feel like he's the kind of guy I feel like is going to end up on the Food Network. You know what I mean? Like he's going to take this and he's going to like parlay into a Food Network career. He's so fucking good at that shit, man.
Just watching him barbecue and roast stuff, I'm like, bro, where's my invite? You know? we haven't met. Well, I don't think we haven't met yet, but I just to watch the stuff he cooks and
yeah.
You know, dude, I could never be a chef or a cook just because of all the prep and stuff like that. It's like, it takes longer to prep the food than cook it and eat it. You know, I just want to get to the eating part.
Yeah. Same.
To see what he puts into that preparation and everything that goes into everything before you cook it.
Yeah.
He could definitely be on the Food Network, just like oh my god, who's the Stay Hype guy?
Oh shit, what's his name?
Was he team the Hype Bros with Matt Cardona?
Oh yeah, God, what's the guy's name?
He's on TMZ now.
Oh yeah, what the hell? It's not Brian. No, it's not him. I know who you're talking about though. I know. I can't remember his name.
I mean, he's got a secondary career on TMZ covering sports. I mean, I could easily see Baron Corbin on the Food Network as a, you know, celebrity chef. You know, why not? You know, and you know, look, I don't know if I just said this because it's early, early for me.
You're right,
but 12 years is commendable.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody in the room.
Mojo
Raleigh. Thank you.
That's it, Mojo. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you.
Joe Raleigh. Yeah, he's on TMZ doing sports and interviews, which is awesome. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's bump free money. That's bump free money. You know,
Absolutely.
and you know, Baron will be good. He'll be good. What was I just saying? Oh yeah,
Cooking stuff.
Being WWE for 12 years.
Yeah.
That's commendable. You know, to survive. I mean, just to survive 1 year. You know, just I was only there for 2, and I had a couple pop-ups here and there, a couple cameos after that. To be there 12 solid years is something to be proud of.
Absolutely.
You know? And he said to be there for 15 years reminded me of Brandon Graham from the Philadelphia Eagles. It's his final year, but it's his 15th year, and he said, always wanted to make 15. Like it's a nice solid number, you know.
Yeah.
But it sucks they got released, but they'll be fine.
Yeah.
They'll be fine.
I know they're going to land on their feet. And yeah, like I said, with Corbin, when he comes, he's supposed to be coming to Westchester very soon. So when he does, I'll make sure I map it out so you can join us, because that would be a marvelous time. So there they are. It's Gooba, and it's the Blue Meanie, and it's fucking Baron Corbin, and they're having breakfast, right? It's fucking ridiculous. But
tremendous.
So no, we wish them all the best, and yeah, we just keep watching them and keep supporting them in any way we possibly can. But also, too, I want to say hi to some of the folks here in the chat. We got a lively chat here this morning. Good morning, everybody. Aaron Atherton, good morning to you, sir. Mass Sanity, great Hollywood blonde shirt. I was going to compliment you on that, blue guy. Yeah. That's an excellent shirt, sir.
The thing is, I have plenty of shirts that I forget I own. So just thinking of the traveling, I'd say, so Miss Meanie, just pick a shirt. She walked out the hallway with this shirt, and I went, really? I forgot I owned it. So
that's funny.
Yeah, it's a great shirt. So why not?
Yep. We got a couple more people here. Andrew, big red Andrew, I believe, is from Twitter. I'm late to the party, but let me say, fucking Yankees. Yeah, they shit the bed. Shit the bed.
That's weird. The Dodgers took out both teams, both New York teams, the Mets and the Yankees. So
yeah, they're
the big heels in New York right now.
Jeez. We got Stuart Henderson in the chat. Is this actually live? Yes, sir. We are live, pal.
Hold on. Let me check.
Yeah, I think I'm still
alive. Yeah.
I think so.
I'm good.
We have Mass Sanity's got the best response here. It was 9:42 when he posted that, and 42 minutes past the hour here on the Mind of the Meanie. Traffic report coming up in 5 minutes. Now for the news.
Oh, I wonder. Let me check my Roadcaster. I think I have the old KYW news ticker here. Hold on.
Do you really?
Oh yeah, listen to this.
Yeah. 50 minutes past the hour.
Late breaking news.
10 minutes to 10 here on KYW Radio.
Yeah.
Adam Bernard here. Brian Heffron with sports.
Whammy.
Whammy.
I was just watching Tommy Blotz's podcast, Tales from the Attitude Era, and they had the actor who played Champ Kind from Anchorman on there.
Oh no shit!
And I forgot he was he did he had a spot in WWE for a second there.
No shit.
When they were having the parent teacher council protests. He was one of the picketers in the crowd saying, WWE is, garbage or whatever. Just he had a picket sign in the crowd, and he was talking about his time, in WWE. And there's if you get a chance, check it out. There's some really good stories on there.
Oh, shit. I had no idea.
Yeah, they talk about his time at like a little sidebar. They talk about his time at Saturday Night Live, and then Tommy Blotcha, who was a writer for WWE, 99 to whenever. And Tommy Blotcha has a great story about Vince McMahon interacting with Lorne Michaels.
Oh, God.
And how he kind of just took over the room, Lorne Michaels is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Vince,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody who doesn't know, the whole Dr. Evil voice is Lorne Michaels from Saturday Night Live.
That's correct. Yeah.
And, Lauren does these power plays where like he'll have a meeting and somebody will bring him lunch and he's eating during the meeting and Vince is like, you gotta eat now. Just,
What the fuck are you doing?
yeah. And he said there's like one point, I don't want to give the whole story away. I want you guys to go support Tommy Bloch's podcast. It's really good. But like, I don't know why, but there's like some shamrocks up there. So he takes like the shamrock sticker, puts it in his nose and just sits there and stares at Lauren, just because they were like at an impasse on some kind of idea.
That's amazing.
But just two, media mega types, Lauren Michaels, Vince McMahon in the room, and it's just them with Tommy Bloch, and Tommy's like,
I'm interested to check it out. I loved all that old NBC type stuff. Mass Sanity here too is talking. He says, excuse me, if you get a chance, watch the Saturday Night Movie. I thought it was excellent. I really have been waiting to see that flick. I know it's, I'm very into the old original Saturday Night Live story. Not even so much like the content, but just the stories behind the scene are fucking insane. So
yeah,
I would love to check it out and take a look.
I got the Saturday Night Live book, and I got like I always say, I get the audio books, just for commutes and stuff like that. There's only so much. Look, I like sports talk radio, but
yeah,
sports talk radio is faker than wrestling. Just I listen to radio not to get hot and angry. So
right.
I'll put on an audio book.
Yeah,
but I got the Saturday Night Live book, and it's like 25 hours long.
Holy shit!
Yeah, so I'm going to dive into that one soon.
Yeah,
I just finished the Alex Van Halen book.
Oh yeah, how was that, man?
Amazing. A lot of story. I got a lot of friends who aren't really into like wrestling, but they watched the McMahon documentary. So I'm their wrestling guy.
Yeah.
So they come to me. So I saw the McMahon documentary. I was like, oh, really? Well, what did you think? And I go, well, a lot of stuff I knew already.
I was going to say, I don't mean to cut you off, but it's the same thing. I'm like the wrestling guy in most of like in the Megamind Council, my group checks, right?
Yeah.
I'm the wrestling guy. So they're like, oh, have you watched the McMahon? I was like, of course I watched the McMahon documentary. You know what I mean? Like I watched it when it came out. Well, can you believe that they did this? And I was like, yeah, I knew about this like 15 years ago.
Welcome to the party, pal.
This story's been around forever. Yeah, of course I knew about this. Yeah.
Yeah. Last night, somebody's like, watch the McMahon documentary. Like we were in some secret club.
Hey, Meanie, listen, I got to tell you.
You got the Mott's.
I got to tell you real fast. I got to tell you, I watched something the other day I think you're going to like. It's about this guy named Vince McMahon. Are you familiar with him? You know who he is?
I've dabbled.
Some kind of wrestling stuff. I don't know,
man. He signed my check for 2 years. So I mean, he sent me around the world on his dime.
Yeah.
I was able to support my family because of him. So, but
vaguely familiar. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I tell him, well, yeah, I'm just disappointed they didn't cover this, that, and the other thing because I was blowing people's minds. I was like, yeah, he promoted a Evil Knievel event, and then he promoted the Harlem Globetrotters, and people are like, what?
Yeah, yeah.
He had a hockey team at one point. It's like, what? But the Alex Van Halen book.
Oh yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No. It's called Brothers, and spoiler alert, it only goes up to 1984, which is fine.
Yeah.
A lot of people, dude, I am involved in so many worlds where there's so much infighting. Pro wrestling, Van Halen, and UFOs. It's just like all this infighting. It's like, Jesus Christ, who's the good guy in this situation? I read the tea leaves, and look, I like the Sammy years, right? When it comes to Van Halen. But Sammy wrote a book, and it was not too complimentary, and he might have talked a little bit too much out of school. The Van Halen universe, Van Halen, Eddie, Alex, Wolfie, they have their own code of kayfabe.
Mm.
You know, they don't really tell too many inside stories.
Right.
So, and Alex was like, "Look, I'm not going to write a book to throw dirt." So which was another jab at Sammy. So it goes up to 1984. I mean, he makes little references kind of to Sammy years. He even takes a shot at Van Halen 3, which I popped for. But Van Halen 3 was like their least successful record with Gary Sharon, which, being a fan, I enjoyed it. There's a great saying: the ultimate fan and the ultimate critic are the exact same person. Just on opposite ends of the spectrum. So that's where it comes with Van Halen. But the book is great. Fascinating to hear about them growing up in Holland.
Yeah.
Their dad was Dutch, their mother was Indonesian, and they moved to America to escape racism, basically. And basically, I mean, they basically lived the American dream.
Yeah.
Immigrants coming over here from another country and finding stardom. But I don't want to give too much away. But if and the best thing about the book is Alex reads it.
Oh, cool.
And, there's a couple things in the book where he reads something and it's funny, and he kind of cracks up while he's reading it, which is kind of cool. There's I've gotten audiobooks by people, and they've had other people, like professional readers, read it, and it's just like so sterile and just like so missionary. It's just
I was gonna say that.
yeah, it's just. And then I was on tour, and I was doing heroin, and
then I shot the Jack Daniels into my arm.
Yeah, like I love Dove McKagan's book, but whoever read that book, bro, it just took me out. But so Alex reads the book. Alex reads the book, and there's a couple times where you hear him just like, just like Steve Lukather from Toto has a really good book, called The Book According to Luke. And there's a couple times in there he'll be telling the story. He goes, and he'll say something. He goes, "Yeah, by the way, that wasn't in the book. This part wasn't in the book," and it gives you something that wasn't in the book. Like he just remembered it, that he forgot to write about it, kind of thing. But I posted a screenshot of me about to listen to it, and it's like, well, time to cry.
Yeah.
And there's some moments in there that are really touching.
Yeah.
And I highly recommend it. Alex has been doing the rounds. He did a couple book signings in the area, like one in New York, one in New Jersey, and he did like a speaking engagement in LA.
Wow.
And somewhere in LA, everything's LA in California, as far as I'm concerned. I'm kind of bummed I didn't go, but me and Mrs. Meanie were sitting around thinking, and we're like, you know what? We kind of had a special moment with Alex on our own. Back in 2015, Van Halen was on what was to be their last tour. We didn't know it at the time, but I had a feeling. I was like, you know what? I have a feeling this is the last time I'm going to see. And I said, I think this is going to be the last time I see Van Halen in person.
Yeah.
I don't know what told me that. It was just a feeling. So I reached out to a buddy. I got a buddy who always, he's always catching stars. Like he always, he's always at the hotel when the NFL players are in town. He's always here. He's always, posing with people. I was like, bro, you just tell me where Van Halen's going to be, please.
Just give me the heads up, man.
Yo, give me the dirt. Give me the dirt. So he's like, they'll be at this hotel. I'm like, all right, thank you. So I went, I marked out. I was like, I'm gonna go down there, hang out, see what I could see.
Yeah.
So me and Mrs. Me go down there, and lo and behold, there's their tour bus, and like they got Eddie's got had a dog. I forget the dog's name, but there's a photo of Eddie's dog in the window. I was like, so that, yeah, that's their bus. So we're just hanging around, and I guess we got there way too early.
Yeah,
But I didn't give a shit. Just in case Eddie wants to run out and get some coffee or whatever. I don't know. But I started recognizing people. His guitar tech came out for something, and then his second wife Janie came out, and I was like, I was like, I don't want to be the creep, even though I'm familiar with his guitar tech. I could have just made it. I wanted to make it like a plea, like, hey, look, I'm not a psycho. I don't want anything. I don't want anything signed. I just want to shake a hand.
right.
So time comes by, a crowd starts gathering. I guess other people figure it out. Now these people are like autograph hounds.
Yeah.
They want stuff signed so they could sell it, kind of like, all the wrestlers talk about when they go to the airport and there's people there with a stack of 8x10s kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, dude, I just want to shake a hand, take a photo. And, they put up this little barricade like the hotel does between, this, on the sidewalk. So, they can walk to the bus and not be bothered. So, Wolfie comes out. Wolfgang Van Halen comes out. I'm like, oh, yeah, So I casually walk towards the barricade, and Mrs. Meanie has her camera phone. I was like, hey, take this picture. And I casually just, walk around. I was like, hey, can I get a pic? And he goes, oh, yeah, sure. I put my arm around Wolfgang, take a photo. So I go back to the other side of the barricade. Now we're waiting for Eddie to come out. Eddie, whoever, Eddie comes out and goes, hey, sorry, guys, we're late. We got to go, blah, blah, blah. He hops on the bus.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there, and the bus takes off, and guy comes out. He goes, look, Alex Van Halen's going to come out. He's going to sign one item each. I'm like, fuck, I don't want anything signed.
Yeah.
Let me take a photo. And he's like, you're going to be signed with my pen. He had a black Sharpie because I guess in the autograph world, different color markers means different things. Like blue is like the preferred color for autograph 8x10s. Like green is kind of like ruins it or whatever. I don't know. It was explained to me a while ago, but he'll sign this, blah, blah, blah. I was like, fuck, what do I have? And I had my ticket for the show that night. So I take my ticket out, and he comes down the line. I go, I love you, sir. And he looks up and smiles at me, and he signs my ticket for that night. So the last time I ever saw Van Halen, I have I hate that it's a printout, but it's the printout ticket. You print on signed Alex Van Halen's. And then Mrs. Meanie got like something on her bag signed that she had hand painted and stuff like that. So we weren't planning on getting, autographs. We just want photos, but it was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool, man. That is, I know.
Well,
and
I'm bummed I missed the book signings, but
yeah,
I still have my own story of how I just one day just wanted to go down and meet him, and met him.
Yeah. I know we don't do guests here.
Yes.
But suppose, because we know, Alex Van Halen is a fan of the show. So if you're listening, Mr. Van Halen, if I may call you that, sir, Alex, to be more
Reverend Al.
Yeah.
He married Eddie and Eddie's second wife. He's an ordained minister.
Shit. Hey, listen, good Reverend Pastor.
Yes.
Come and see us. You're welcome on the show. Padre. Yeah, yo, Padre. We got a lot of Van Halen stuff going on in the chat here, which I fucking love.
Nice.
Let me go back here. Also, too, I wanted to wanted to talk about, you touched on the Vince McMahon documentary. I wanted to touch on something that you mentioned about things that people don't know that Vince McMahon did. I'm pretty sure we've talked about this before, but the camera technology that you see in the NFL with the cameras that come from like the wires that do the big
spider cams,
the spider cam, Vince McMahon actually created that technology. He actually created that shot, and the NFL bought either they licensed it from him or something, which that blew my fucking mind because it was it was innovative for the XFL. When the XFL went out of business, the NFL saw it and they were like, hey, we really like this. We'd like to use this. And that's all because of Vince McMahon, which is absolutely insane. Let me see here. Let's go back and find some stuff here. A lot of people talk about Mass Entity says if the Van Halen book goes up to 1984, that means there will be a follow-up. Yeah,
Hopefully.
You're probably
Hopefully.
right.
Alex has alluded to a Van Halen biopic as well,
Ooh.
and talked about going into the vaults.
Oh man.
You know, if you get the audiobook was supposed to come with an unfinished piece of material called Unfinished, which is the last piece of music him and Eddie recorded together.
Wow.
And then the day of the book, he just released it, to the public, and it's really good. It's an instrumental. And it's really good. And it's called Unfinished. So if you go to van/halen.com, it's right on there.
That's crazy. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
Ken Terminated DQ. We were talking about Saturday Night Live. And he said, I wish there was a biopic on In Living Color. I think it's 100 times better than SNL. Honestly, I would love to see the behind the scenes story and the history of In Living Color. That was
absolutely
one of my favorite shows growing up. Really enjoyed that. The Wayans brothers actually are back in the news now too. They're back with the Scary Movie franchise, which is super fucking dope. I'm a big fan of the original Scary Movie, so I can't wait to see that. What else is going on here? Let me see. Oh, Anthony Manzano says, I think he meant to say singer. I prefer the original singer for Van Halen, which is David Lee Roth, to be honest. I understand Sammy brought out certain things in the band's music because of his voice. I mean, yeah, like Meanie said, it's like Van
Halen.
Yeah.
The Dave years were high school and the Sammy years were college.
Yep.
Basically, just Dave quit the band. What were they supposed to do? Oh, well, let's pack up to shop now. We're no longer musicians. And when they were doing Van Halen 1, Ted Templeman hated Dave's voice. The guy who signed him, the guy who produced him, hated Dave's voice. And for Van Halen 1, Ted Templeman almost got Sammy Hagar for Van Halen 1.
No shit.
Yep.
Wow.
Ted talks about it in his book, and Alex brought it up in the book.
Whoa.
He just didn't like it. Didn't like Dave's voice. He didn't come around to Dave's voice till they started doing Van Halen 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Mass Entity says, I worked a book signing with Duff McKagan. He's a saint, especially since he's worked so much with Axl Rose and Scott Weiland. Yeah, I can't even imagine those two guys back to back like that. Sweet jumping Jesus.
So here's a story real quick. I was on a flight from LA to Colorado. I was going there for a couple days. I'm sitting on the plane, and I don't know if you're familiar with him, but comedian Robert Schimmel walked on the plane. A huge Schimmel fan, right? I'm like, oh shit, there's Robert Schimmel. I ain't gonna bother him. We get off the plane. I go to the bathroom. He's in the bathroom with me. All right.
Yep.
Still not gonna bother him. Right. Flying back from Colorado to California. Who comes on my plane?
Robert Schimmel.
Motherfucker. I have this rule of 3. If I see somebody for a third time, I usually bug them. And then, I go down the baggage claim and I get a little tap on my shoulder. I turn around. You know who it is?
It's Robert Schimmel.
No, it's Duff McKagan.
No shit. Shut the fuck up. Are you serious?
I'm buddies with Zach Wild from Black Label Society. And if you ever seen him, he's got the back patches, like motorcycle patches, like at Black Label Society with the skull and all that stuff. Now, if you had that back in the day, that meant you got it from Zach.
Oh, no shit.
So I'm in the airport wearing this jacket. Duff McKagan, who was also in the airport, saw my jacket, came over, tapped me on the shoulder, like, hey, where'd you get those patches? Like, oh, well, Zach gave them to me, and this is right before Velvet Revolver, and there's like rumors about, it's like, so any decisions on the band there? Who you guys saying? He goes, he does the whole cool, still auditioning, and so I was like, so I leave. I got my stuff. I'm gonna go to the cab stand, As I'm walking to the camp stand, walking foot and foot with me, I turn my left. There's Robert Schimmel.
Shut up.
I go, sir, you're Robert Schimmel, right? He goes, yeah. I was like, dude, I love you. Thank you for all your gift of comedy. I was like, he puts his arm around me and goes, no problem. He went his way, I went my way. But
that's cool, man.
That's my Robert Schimmel story that had a cameo with Duff McKagan. So random.
That is
so
amazing,
random.
dude. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, there's that legendary story with Duff McKagan with Kurt Cobain too, where he was like, sat next to him like it was his last plane ride or something, and tried to help him. But
yeah, that was that's in Duff's book too.
Yeah, I'd love to check that out, man.
Yeah.
I'm interested in that. But I got to tell you, Meanie, I'm going to pivot here real fast.
Sure.
Because we have a lot of questions today. We've had an explosion of questions, if you will, baby.
Yes,
and
sir.
An explosion, like not like that, sir. A good explosion. So I'm going to get us started now. I'm going to get us started now on this with a question for you, sir.
Oh, what's that?
Are you ready to ask Meanie?
I would love to. It's time to ask me anything.
Ask me something.
Now, as always, don't forget to ask us your questions using the hashtag AskMeanie, and you may hear them on the program. We got a lot in the group here. So thank you all for dropping your questions.
And I don't have seltzer today, but you know.
Oh, hey, I was going to say, I got one here. If I drink too much, I'm going to pee myself, but I got one of these cheap shit from the Aldi, the Sparkling Frost Pink Grapefruit. So I'm going to crack this for both of us here in 3, 2, 1.
Drinking for two.
So good. Drinking for the both of us. Pinkies up. All right. We got a lot here. I'm going to start with a Twitter question because, as you know, we don't fucking call it X. That's stupid. That's stupid. Dear John says, Meanie, would you be interested in selling custom-made ECW word art prints made up of names of iconic ECW wrestlers? Here's a picture of some that I've made from local sports teams. I've always wanted to make ECW and maybe old school WWF ones.
That's fantastic. I mean, would I be interested? Sure, but I'm sure the wrestlers whose names were on there would probably want some kind of royalty or whatever. So,
yeah.
I mean, feel free to make it yourself, but for me to sell it, you know, everybody be like, "Oh yeah, where's my cut?" knowing other pro wrestlers, you know.
Yeah.
Meanie benefiting from the boys, you know.
Yeah.
You know, the fantastic idea.
Yeah.
And if you made one, I would gladly, you know, help you promote it. You know, say, hey, check this guy's art out. But for me to sell it, it would just be a little taboo, you know. People shaking me down. I want my $2.
Yeah.
Like the kid from
my $2.
The kid from Better Off, the $2. And I can't wait to shave this fucking mustache off. I can't wait,
man. I was gonna say I could see you getting a little antsy there.
It's the last weekend, so you know it's for Halloween, and we're gonna do a Halloween thing tonight. So
nice. It'll come off shortly. I have a message here in the group chat. From an old friend of ours.
An
OG Pod Squad member, sir. Hashtag Sorensen level is here today. James Sorensen, man. Holy shit, man. Good to see you, pal. Are y'all having? It's been a long time, man. Welcome back.
Sorensen level.
That's right. Hashtag Sorensen level are one of our earliest supporters and one of our top supporters. Honestly, we really appreciate you, sir. Yeah. Are you all having an incredible day?
So far,
yeah.
It's early.
Yeah,
it's early. I think it's going to be a good day, but other people might have some say in it. But thank you, little Jimmy.
We appreciate you, Jimmy. Thank you for joining us. It's good to see you, my friend, as always. Don't be a stranger, pal. Come back and see us, man. Twitter user Parmy wants to know, do you play any musical instruments? Damn it, if there's a question mark on the teleprompter, Burgundy will read.
Yeah. No. I was trying to think of something funny, you know, related to farts, but I couldn't quip that one up fast enough. So
I don't play,
dude. I tried, you know, at one time I tried playing guitar. One time I tried playing bass. to new success. So, but no.
Yep.
If I sing, people tell me to shut the fuck up.
Twitter user CMJ wants to know at CM Johnson 77. Ever hear anything from the Beatles for using the Blue Meanie name? That's a great question.
Yeah. Well, the term Blue Meanie is kind of public domain. They didn't create the name. The term Blue Meanie relates to it. Well, in England, related to the police, the Blue Meanies. So that's what they would, the if you're in England, the cops were considered the Blue Meanies. And then I later learned when I was over in England that there was a certain type of currency that was blue, colored. And, during the lean years, people were like, oh, I'm down to my last Blue Meanie, So, I have Blue Meanie trademarked towards professional wrestling entertainment. So, two totally different. And there was a band called the Blue Meanies, punk band, Blue Meanies. There's been a record store, the Blue Meanie. I think it was called the Blue Meanie. It's in California. I have so many Blue Meanie bumper stickers from other things that are called Blue Meanie. So I can't say I'm the only Blue Meanie, but the Beatles certainly didn't create it.
Also, we got to give a shout out to fan of the show, Robert Downey Jr. as well, for mentioning you by name in Avengers Endgame. I know that was a big deal. So if anybody could clip that part from that movie so we can put it on the board here, because I feel like that is well deserved. So thank you. I know Bob, as you know, we know you. We appreciate you.
Yeah, Bob.
Bob, thank you. We appreciate you. Aaron Atherton wants to know, hey, Blue and Goob, what it is, man. What's your favorite restaurant that's not in Philly?
Ooh, hold on. I gotta look. You answer first. I gotta look this up because I actually have it saved in my phone.
There's two places that I can think of off the top of my head. And I'm trying to find the name of the one that was in Indianapolis, because I was in Indianapolis for work a couple months ago. And it's a barbecue joint.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the name of it. I'll have to look it up later. I'll find it and I'll post it, but it was fantastic. But my favorite, if I'm going somewhere and I want to eat something, I'm a big fan of Pamela's Cafe in Pittsburgh. It's our favorite breakfast spot we go to. There's a couple locations. There's one in right in Oakland, right in South Oakland by the campus on University of Pittsburgh. There's one in Mount Lebanon, which is the one we usually go to. And then there's one at the Strip District, which is like the most famous, right? The Strip District, if you've never been to Pittsburgh, Strip District is like this long street that's got all these different shops and shit on it. And there's a great Holy's Food Market is there as well. It's where you should get my crab cakes and my ribs and all my fish and meat and stuff. And then right at the corner right there, right as you're on the road there for the Strip, is Pamela's, and it's always packed. So you got to go early when you get there. But I would say it's probably like my favorite restaurant diner. There's another place in San Diego, La Jolla, California, actually, called Uncle Bill's Pancake House. Fantastic fucking stuff, man. That's I would say those are probably Pamela's, though, is usually my go-to answer. What's yours?
There's a place in Cherry Hill called Amy's Omelet House that's amazing.
Yeah.
Go there for breakfast. They're only open until like maybe 2 p.m., but they make a amazing breakfast. New York, there's a place called Vincent's.
Yeah.
On 119 Mott Street. I liked it so much, I screen grab. So I didn't forget where it was. It's I want to say Little Italy. And then there's, last night we had, anytime we're in Connecticut, there's a place called Christopher Martin's has really good food.
Nice.
In New Haven. So had some good, we ate there last night and had some good food. But yeah, I wish I didn't have such an aversion to driving in New York.
Yeah.
Like I don't hate New York. I hate New York traffic.
New York traffic sucks.
I've literally I've turned down bookings. Hey, I got this show on Long Island. I was like, I'm busy that day. Busy doing anything but driving in Long Island.
Seriously.
Nothing against Long Island. I don't hate Long Island. Great people in Long Island, birthplace. home of Mick Foley.
Yep.
None against, hate driving there.
Yep.
Aaron,
Aaron.
a drive that should take an hour and a half, 2 hours takes about 5 fucking hours.
It takes fucking forever, dude. Forever.
And
Hate it.
people go, "Oh, Meanie, you're so chill. You're so relaxed." You haven't seen me in the car.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I have a buddy who, is like, we're driving somewhere and I just had a driving moment. They're like, "Oh my God, I've never seen that side of you."
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh my. I do declare.
I would never.
Oh, never. I have never. Aaron Atherton says we
You
got
never
some
will with a face like that.
we've had some pretty good. Aaron says we got some pretty good barbecue places here in McMinnville, Tennessee. Actually, thank you for reminding me. There's a great place in Tennessee outside of Nashville called Martin's Barbecue. It is fucking amazing. If you ever are in that area, I think it's down in the Franklin, Tennessee area, which is right outside of Nashville.
Nice.
It is super good, bro. Let's see. That's my last thought on that one. Got a couple more questions here.
That's all I think I'll say about that.
That's all I got to say about that. Mass Entity's actually got 2 questions around at the show here. Meanie, did you have many interactions with Vince during your time in WWE? I know about the one you've told before with seeing him before the JBL match. But did you have any other ones?
And when ECW invaded Raw,
Mm.
which he brought my name up like a couple, like there's like a melee at the end of Raw, and he's like, he's saying to Joel and Lawler, you think the Blue Meanie's gonna come out here or something like that? I was like, what the fuck? He was always good to me. He was always kind. He was, I remember, I forget where we're going, but I think we're driving somewhere in North Carolina and pull up the hotel at the same time. Ha ha, Meanie. Meanie and I'm not Meanie. It'd be Vince and Stephanie, pulling out their card to check into the hotel, me and Al, and hey, how you doing? Just stuff like that. Just always, smile, always, hi, how you doing, pal? This kind of thing, and I guess because I never really bothered him, but maybe I should have. There's so many times where you hear people waiting outside of Vince's office, and I was like a new kid there, and I didn't really want to rock the boat. And like, excuse me, what about me? What about me? What? And I, going there, you make the mistake. You think, I'm going to WWE. They're going to have everything drawn up and storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't realize how much they allowed you to make have your own input. So a lot of times I should have pitched things, but our interactions were always good.
Meaning, you have my word. If
you have my word,
you have my word.
Yeah.
There's days I walk around and I'm just like, Meaning, you have my word. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's my Vince McMahon impression. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Last question from Mass Sanity. If the Gary Sharon album was put out and had gone by any other name other than Van Halen, do you think it would have been more successful? Maybe if it was called something else and labeled a super group. It's a great question.
Oh, that's an excellent question, and I 100% agree. Like if they called the band something else while they had Gary in there, and there's 2 things about the whole Gary Sharon era. They should have called it something else.
Yeah,
it's kind of that whole album was kind of like Eddie's solo album, but Gary was singing, I mean, there's songs on there, there's one song on there called Once that easily could have been the Peter Gabriel song, just wow. Eddie was just, experimenting. And the other theory that I've heard, it's not my original theory, but I agree with it. They should have just went out and toured before they even made an album. Just go out and tour, gel a little bit, because I heard that they went back in the studio for a second album with Gary, and the material on the second album was going to be pretty good.
Interesting.
And the record label went in a different direction. Wanted to go in a different direction, and Gary got dropped. But and then fucking Alex dropped the bombshell a couple of weeks ago that they were planning on doing a Van Halen album with Ozzy.
Whoa.
And like the Rolling Stone, there's a Alex Van Halen interview in Rolling Stone where Alex says, yeah, we're going to get together with Ozzy and do an album. And they reached out to Ozzy's people, and Ozzy's like, yep, we're planning to go in the studio and do it. But then the TV show The Osbournes happened.
No shit. It was that timeline.
Yeah. They were about, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Fucking, Ozzy already played with, legendary Randy Rhoads. Why not play with Eddie Van Halen?
Wow.
And they knew each other. Van Halen opened up for Black Sabbath, and on the during the Van Halen 1 era.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, to hear what Ozzy and Van Halen could have done together would have been amazing.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Hearing Ozzy sing "Running with the Devil."
Shoo.
How great would that have been? But that fucking show, The Osbournes, I hated that thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God.
Dude, fucking oh my God, Ozzy's kid, son.
Jack.
He did a proper documentary on Ozzy, and they talk about how they hated doing that show, The Osbournes.
I can imagine.
Yeah. If you ever get a chance to check it out, I think it's called God Bless Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah. I know Bama spoke to me before about how much he hated Viva La Bam after a while. They all hated it. They were like, it's just not, you're like, oh yeah, great, this is MTV money and everything's cool. And then it's just like, he's like, well, now I can't skate because I got to film 16 hours a day and I can't do this and everybody's stuck here. And it's just like, it's like, it's so.
I almost got booked for that.
That's right. You were supposed to be in the wrestling match, right?
Yeah.
I'll have to ask Jess about that next time I talk to him. I'm sure he was probably familiar
Somebody
with that.
reached out. Ron Ramey from Florida.
Yeah.
He's a wrestling booker, promoter, wrestling manager on screen. He reached out to me saying, hey, Viva La Bam's going to have a wrestling thing you want to do. I was like, yeah, they're 45 minutes from me. And they hired other guys and flew them in. I was like, dude, I could have drove there. I would save you some money, Yeah.
Yeah, it's I would love to check it out. And we want to thank you for checking out the show here today and dropping all of your amazing questions for us. We really appreciate your time and your energy and your effort on this. Lots of great questions. Don't forget to use the hashtag #AskMeanie on Twitter or here in the group, and you may hear them on the show. Ask Meanie, we want to thank you, sir, for your time as always.
Yeah.
Good sir, I'd like to know, where can everyone keep up to date, good sir, with all things blue?
Well, if you would like to follow the Blue Meanie on all forms of social media, that's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Blue Meanie BWO on all forms of social media. If you would like to support the Blue Meanie, go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie. If you'd like to support Mind of the Meanie, go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. MadCatBeardCare.com. Get the Blue Spruce Beard Oil and Balm. Josh Thorne's doing an amazing job over there at madcatbeardcare.com. He rounds up the cats, takes them to the vet, sends them back off better than he found them. So if you're a cat lover like myself, go to madcatbeardcare.com. The Ultra Pro Wrestling video game coming to all major consoles in 2025. It's been confirmed. Ultra Pro Wrestling contains not only original characters created by the amazing Hal Haney, but many real world wrestlers, including myself and many others. This week, they just announced Onita, and they're going to have FMW in the video game. So for more information, go to ultraprowrestling.com or follow them on Twitter at UPW Video Game. That's ultraprowrestling.com or UPW Video Game on Twitter. The figure collection Bone Crushing Wrestlers Series 1 variants of the Blue Meanie are available now. All Series 1s can be ordered now at shop.figurecollections.com. That's shop.figurecollections.com. shop.figurecollections.com. Type Blue Meanie in the search bar. Get regular Blue Meanie or BWO Blue Meanie. Either way, there's no wrong choice. To have the Blue Meanie on your podcast, go to podstars.net. That's podstrz.net. Register your podcast. Book the Blue Guy. Let's have a conversation over there at podstars.net. Cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO for birthdays, holidays, and well wishes. Book through the site. Don't book through the app. The app takes too much money, too much of your hard-earned money that you think's going to the talent isn't. So go to cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO. But most importantly, Mr. Bernard, where can we find you, sir?
Oh, well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Threads at This Is Goober. Yes, it's my handle. No, I'm not changing it. It's a brand, pal. So find me there. You can also check out my other show, Foundation Radio, by going to foundationradio.net or watching the video version over at youtube.com/@FoundationRadioPod. My interviews with Dominic Mysterio and Mark Briscoe are available for you to watch right now, as well as my work over at The Takedown on SI. By going to the Takedown YouTube page, go to, I believe it's youtube.com/@The Takedown on SI. So go over and check that out there. My interview with Tiffany Stratton right before Crown Jewel is up now. Lots of great feedback on that. Also, my interview with Tony D'Angelo, the North American champion, is available right now. So go check that all out and keep up to date with all of my work there. Go to the 10th Ward Barbershop in downtown Lawrenceville, on the outskirts of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The homies Kane, Jordan, and the rest of the team are ready to cut your hair and make you look good. Meanie, I want to show you this real fast. Sent me something cool recently. Sent me another piece of swag from the shop here, which I proudly rep at all the events here. A nice new shirt from the guys at 10th Ward. There's probably a handful left, but you want to get your hands on it, go to the 10th Ward Barbershop at 10thwardbarbershop.com. Go to the Feinberg Method, feinbergmethod.com. Use promo code Goober and save 20% off of your entire purchase. My trainer, Brad Feinberg, is ready to help you with your physical and mental well-being. So go to the feinbergmethod.com. ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. ProWrestlingTees.com/Foundation Radio. Pick up a shirt. Keep the lights on at the Casa de Meanie and the Barnard Home for wayward and troubled youth. Don't forget to support our friends at One True Sport. Our friends here that let us host our show live for you each and every week. They got a lot of great t-shirts over there. Bruiser Brody is now a part of it. One of my favorite t-shirts that I've purchased recently from the homie Arn Anderson is there. Plus, we might be working on some stuff for you as well. So keep tuned. We don't know. Maybe. We'll see. We will see. I don't know. So go check it out there. Pick up a shirt at onetruesport.com. Don't forget to follow us on all of our socials. At Instagram and Twitter at Mind of the Meanie. Go sign up today to become a part of the Pod Squad, patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Go and follow us and subscribe on YouTube at youtube.com/@Mind of the Meanie. We appreciate you all being here today, and we appreciate you being a part of the show with us. Meanie, I want to thank you each and every week for being with us and for being with us remotely this week too. It's we really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Don't forget to check out Meanie on ad-free shows. Mornings with Meanie coming up very, very soon. Go ahead and check that out. We would love to have you and meet you over there. So for the Blue Meanie, I am Adam Bernard, joining us again each and every week as we take a trip through the mind of the Meanie. Peace.
Blue World Order.
This episode of Mind of the Meanie is hosted and executively produced by the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard. It was mixed and engineered by Carl Pinnell. Additional narration is provided by the executive voice, Sam Krebs. That's me. Our intro music was performed by the Swamp Candles. Our outro music was performed by Chikara. Additional musical accompaniment is performed by Enrichment. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, or X or whatever, at Mind of the Meanie, and become part of the Pod Squad by going to patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Find our entire show archive at mindofthemeanie.com. This has been a Butts Carlton media production. Butts Carlton, proprietor.
Blue World Order.
That was